So this is what I have so far of the Josh Allen Styrofoam drawing. I completed this bit, in this case my attempt at drawing and coloring in the laces of a football cleat right before Dad came in to serve dinner. Yeah, I accidentally forgot to put this playbook at his wrist as it's done in the pictures I looked up online. So I ended up having to settle for putting it on that white sleeve. That's part of a sort of undershirt for the jersey. I made a number of mistakes while working on this Styrofoam drawing. But I adapted to those mistakes and they ultimately created a sort of charm that comes from essentially creating something from nothing. This is the magnesium water. There was some leftover steak. From when Dad made it the other night. As well as some chicken, which I don't believe this is left over. And some beets. They taste pretty close to the kind of carrots, this kind of sliced carrots you get in a can. Pretty good. Some light pizzas with a slice of tapioca, or what I call hot ham. Dad got it at Wegmans the other day. The sandwiches I had today consisted of the same bread these light pizzas are made out of, plus at least the hot ham and pepper jack cheese. I believe Dad also put some mayo on those sandwiches. I had the first sandwich around noon. And then the remaining 2 sandwiches at around 2:30 p.m. The noon sandwich was after 3 pomodoros, which for me consists of 25 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break. And there was a tendency to use that 5-minute break as a bit of a bathroom break, even though I didn't have to completely go at that point. It's just essentially to ensure I don't have an emergency while during a work period. A pomodoro is essentially for me a half-hour period. 25-minute work, 5-minute break. I technically took the break for the last pomodoro. Here's where I am on the research tree. I have what's needed to upgrade this, I just don't have the mana to activate it. Believe that's partially due to the fact that it costs mana to produce these things from these buildings, which are things I need in order to be able to activate this chapter's research technologies. And also, mana can also be something you have to give in order to cater any tournament encounters you decide you can't fight through. There's currently a Fellowship Adventures tournament ongoing. My fellowship has made some incredible progress so far. Which is good because I don't really want to be consumed by this ongoing Fellowship Adventures. I just want to get in some participation while not being consumed by it. That way, I can instead focus on working on the Josh Allen Styrofoam drawing, and then this one requires producing toolboxes. And then the other day, Dad suggested me the idea of doing a transformer. Yeah, those robots that can transform into inconspicuous vehicles. I'm most likely to do Bumblebee. I like his color scheme. Although there's also the rabbit Styrofoam drawing to do for Dad's parents. In the Congregate game sword fight, My current objective for this disciple run, of which I'm currently at level 390 by disciple, I currently have the scimitar equipped. I think it might be a better sword for me than the Koplesh, because the scimitar gives both attack and hit stats, which is good because the Garon shield primarily gives defense, and the Brigadine armor primarily gives health and stamina. So it seems like the scimitar may be a good option in order to get some balance so that I can actually hit my enemies. And it doesn't really matter how much damage you can do if you can't ever even hit them. What led me to take another look at the scimitar was the other goal of this current disciple run, which is to get the Cut and Thrust Mastery Award on page 2. I heard off a wiki that it'll apparently unlock a familiarity line of mastery regarding both cutting and thrusting swords. Which will mean additional stat boosts, which I always like. I grandmastered the side sword and then the rapier. And again, I'm currently grandmastering the scimitar before I'll move on to the Koplesh. It's currently 10:38 p.m. I may go to bed soon. So I have it set to where I'm currently researching the Sword and Shield scroll. Though the scrolls are currently at a level cap of 15 due to... Oh! I'll just upgrade the library and now to level 4, and now the scrolls have a level cap of 20. That should be enough to where I hopefully won't lose too much time if I fall asleep at around 11 or so. There was a point in time in which I considered starting a Flash gameplay series. I think it happened around noon / the early afternoon, but I ultimately decided not to do that because I either don't have Blue Maxima's flashpoint or it's not responding for some reason. The exe file I found when I searched Flashpoint on my computer. It didn't respond for some reason, so I tried using my portable Google Chrome with Flash installed on it. I went on crazygames.com to try to play the Flash Classic by XGen Studios Motherload. The game went crazy. I don't know if it's some kind of DRM, but as the screens flashed, there was some kind of game over screen. Saying this game had been pirated. Something to that effect. That's what I thought initially, so I tried going to Miniclip, but the same thing happened again, so I then went to XGen Studios themselves, and they didn't have Motherload available to play, so I then opened up Y8 browser on my laptop, and then I at last got a demo version of the game, and it worked. But I think by that point it was around 3 p.m. And I decided it was too late now. To make a recording of a Flash gameplay, essentially. And then shortly after I had the 2 remaining sandwiches, which were just like the first one I had at noon, within half an hour of having those 2 remaining sandwiches at around 2:30 p.m., I had from the fridge the last 2 remaining fig bars. Which were cookies that Dad's mom gave us the other day. I, in a way, saw this coming. when Dad knocked on the door, I kind of looked over at his left hand. It's a backwards L, so this one is right. And this means left. Dad's left hand, the one that the frame of the door partially obscured unless you looked at certain angles. He was holding two of these, one for me and one for him. I'm glad my dad got these. They're pretty good.